What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the tutorial action. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these, but I was playing around on stream the other day and talking about some of the bonkers builds you can do on water in order to make yourself have like a hyper accelerated game. And I wanted to take you through the craziest of all of them, which is the Thor 18 fishing ship 5-minute build. We'll see how we go. This build should work on Anatolia, should work on Midgard. Probably doesn't work on Mediterranean because people are going to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit harder to protect your fish. On these defensive orientated maps like Midgard, Anatolia, or suggest other random map that might have water on it that you might think could fit it, like, I don't know, Team Migration, you might want to consider this build. So let's jump into it. Okay, so obviously, first things first, we need to go and send our old Sark to the shore. Okay. We are actually going to be using our Dwarven Gold Mine. This can work sort of similarly with Odin, but you probably don't want to do. You want to do something a little bit different with Odin, I reckon. So we just chop ourselves 2 lots of wood there and chuck our dock down straight away. Probably better to chuck it down in the closest space possible rather than looking for 2 spaces, because we're going to have to run all the way over the other side of the map with that old Sark. But the good thing is this build you have to adapt to it based on what resources are coming in. I could probably write it all out, but nah. I accidentally garrisoned that villager just a little bit early there. Just gonna make sure he jumps that 1 gold off so that my OCD is taken care of. Okay, we can just start auto-queuing fishing ships from there. Make sure that the villagers keep chasing. Okay, so we're looking for about 10 villagers on wood. Without upgrades, it really doesn't matter. Without upgrades, it doesn't matter whether you have a dwarf on wood, whether you have a gatherer on wood. So we're just going to be putting our dwarves over here onto wood until we're ready to go. Run our Ulfsark all the way over the other side. On Midgard, you could chuck your dock up a little bit faster and get the fishing ships out a little bit quicker. But on Anatolia, you can't. But it's fine. You should be able to still get everything out in the right order and feel great about your life choices. Okay. So still putting villagers to wood up to 10. You want 10 villagers on wood. So it's a big amount. Okay, so as soon as we find the fish on this side, put the dock down. And we're going to follow that up with a house when we can. So this is 9. We need 1 more. We should be able to build a gatherer. Whenever you can build a gatherer, build a gatherer. And you should be fine. Okay, so house here as soon as you can. Looks like the last fish is here. Okay, this gatherer has been a bit strange here, so we're going to sort him out. Okay, now we can start putting villagers over here onto, obviously onto the goats. And again, whenever you can build a gatherer, build a gatherer. Don't overdo it on the dwarves if you can, until maybe a little bit later. Do have to think about getting the temple now as well. Okay, so we can build the temple now. I'm going to build the next house first though, and then build the temple. That way we don't get supply blocked. So get the house. I'm not going to build any more than the 9 fish on this side, so all the fishing ships are going to come out of this side now. Again, on Midgard, where you don't have to put the 2 docks on both sides, it can be better to get that dock up a bit faster, and that way you get those fishing ships out a little bit quicker, but it shouldn't matter. I should still be able to advance, keep building those fishing ships. You can see how much wood's in the bag. That's an extra 2 fishing ships there that I could have had. The temple should be up fairly soon. We can even start getting that next dock up as well on the way to the next stage. I'm going to chuck that up there. And that'll sort that out. And what should happen here is this dwarf should come out. The ox cart should come out. It's a little bit after 5 minutes. We just have to dump our fish in. And this and advance. Boom. So 407, 507, 5 minutes and 6 seconds ish here is the goal. The fishing ships still coming out because it's Anatolia. You keep building them while you advance to the classical age. And you might want to send your Hersa back over here to build another dock. Maybe getting out an extra Ulfsark in the middle would be before you advance instead of maybe one of these gatherers. Could be an option as well. In fact, there's probably some way in which you see these 7 seconds here. That is basically an Ulfsark instead of a thing. Anyways, so at this point now you have options here. Deciding what you want to do. So option number 1 is, well, every option is going to include getting Percine and Hand Axe when you're advancing to the next age. But the options you might want to consider in the classical age is either semi-fast heroic age through Forseti, through Skadi, building longboats and playing defensively. Another option is to spam longhouses and go heavy on Ulfsark, get an armory up and get those armory upgrades and get aggressive, like say on Midgard. Going some Hersa as well isn't a bad idea. So what I'm going to show you here is simply just a semi-fast heroic, which is going to work in the majority of your matchups. So what we want to do is bring some of these villages over there, and when we get the resources, let's build a house here. The problem right now for me is I don't have a fourth dock, which does actually end up becoming quite a problem. But it is what it is. Okay, and now we got to get our hand axe. So over here, and you can see we got enough for kind of everything we want. We want to get this, and then we get Percine straight away. So yes, the problem with this build right now is this dock is not up yet, which is definitely an issue, which could be addressed with some tweaking. But this is the general gist of this. I'm new to it, so it is what it is. Okay, so essentially you start building these on each side. We want to get an armory out at some point here and start building houses again with this Hersa here. Okay, so as these villages come through, I'm going to slowly start taking dwarves off and put them over onto gold. It is a little bit macro heavy, but it is what it is. And you can see we can probably take them all off now. Come over here and we're good to go. We've just got longboats here, and we're playing defensive, right? Defense is the name of the game on these water maps. If you're ever playing offensively, chances are, I mean, you're either playing against someone who's playing in a similar style to you, or you're being a little bit too aggressive. Okay. Probably don't need to build dwarves. I probably shouldn't build that dwarf. Probably better off to just build gatherers. Now, whichever side your opponent's attacking you from, that's the side when you want to be building the longboats, essentially. Normally, your opponents aren't going to be able to manage to fight two sides of an Anatolia at once. So, one side normally goes on the don't care about. And you can see, look, it's 6 minutes and 37 seconds here, right? Let's just do some quick math. We advanced at 5:07. We bought Percine. We started a longboat. What could you do instead? Instead of the longboat, you could start throwing your barracks down, and now we've got 900 food. Divide that by 50, and you're getting a shit ton of Ulfsark. So the Ulfsark rush here is incredibly potent and underutilized for sure in the competitive scene. So as a surprise strat, it's a surprise strat. It's not something you would do every game, but definitely incredibly strong. You can see how quick I'm going to be able to get to the next age. We just need to keep building houses and make sure we're on our way. eventually we get the gold. As soon as we get the gold, we can click up and feel fantastic about ourselves. We can build this. We might want to, but we can't. So now we advance. We go through Skadi. And now you can decide what you want to do from here. Right? This is the position you're in. One thing you can do, let's say nothing's happened. We can just say, okay, let's build barracks. Let's consider building some Hursa. And let's start looking towards getting our second town center, our third town center, and just having a fantastic game. Water maps, they seem a lot scarier than they really are to a lot of the new players. But if you just come up, if you just come up in with a strategy in mind that you want to try and execute, and you can have a lot better time than anything else. And you can just see how many resources I have here. We just need to throw down a bunch of barracks and get those bad boys coming. There's the town center. Keep building villages. I mean, on these water maps, you tend not to want to build dwarves because they just cost too much gold. At least until a little bit later. So just build gatherers. You can sort it out later. Like, they're not that much. They are a lot worse than the dwarves, but they just allow you to do so much more if you're in a good position here. So now we've hit the next age. We can double town center. You could grab this straight away. You could grab this airship cladding and salt amphora, both incredibly good upgrades. Right, let's grab them now. I think he's about to come kill me. That's fine. And we're going to do this. And you can see, like, just as an example, we're fully set up. We're going to have 3 town centers at about 10 minutes into the game. We've basically been able to defend up here. We've got a grand total of 12 longboats, which is kind of plenty. If your opponent goes super hard on water, you can just give up a side of the water and just like power in front because you've already got the resources from it. You can just keep getting upgrades and just playing standard from here. Just good solid fundamentals at this point, and you'll be in a great position. And you can see now I'm starting to run out of that juicy food excess that I had before. And just start building dwarves now. And we can in forest fire, we can frost, do all the good things. Doesn't particularly matter. And we can get supply blocked and feel fantastic. Let's just kill these. It's trying to. It's doing its best. What's that damage it does? Boom, boom, boom. Dead, one dead. And forest fire. Not as good as it looks. But that's kind of the vibes there. And I got nothing else for you. Like, at this point, you just got to make some decisions about what you want to do. Throw a market up, go Ragnarok here. You got tons of villages. Any of the maps that come with fish, if you've got fish and you rag, man, you've got a really fun game because you're gonna have a lot of food left over in order to rebuild your economy. And I can show you what that looks like here. Maybe let's just pull back and pretend for a second. So say we go up through this. We probably have, it is what it is, but we'll just do it. I'll start making this, get a market in a position that doesn't suck. Make some room for our units. Alright, stop building these. Probably got enough. Probably about where we would have our military there. You can already see how many resources you start getting all these technologies here. Maybe grab fortified town centers as well.
Já.
The market is definitely key. Starting some trade before you rag. You don't need a crazy amount of it. Like I'm only getting 11 gold here. If I have 3 caravans, 4 caravans, 5 caravans for the rag, it's gonna be fine. But you can see how much food I'm starting to get, like nice and quick, from not building anything. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna delete like all my rag heroes and then just show you how fast you can resupply. Just with gatherers and dwarves and fire giants. It's kind of the idea, right? So we kind of just keep building, buying upgrades. Pretending like that's what we were doing in the first place. Everything gets dumped before you rag. It's sort of important. And then we rag. We go up to a good amount of pop here. So we only had 50 villagers or so. So this isn't like as big of a rag as normal. But now we can grab this and we can do this. Right? These guys would go forward. Look, we've already got such a crazy amount of food here. And we got this double market here that we can go for. And then let's just say we just kill off all these guys. Right? They just all died. Now we start rebuilding. And like the damage you would have done would have sufficed and you can just continue playing the game, right? You get these fire giants out, you feel great. The villagers pile out so quick. We've got 3 town centers. Oh, they can't go here. Got to be careful to not overdo the dwarves. But you can just send gatherers back over onto this as well, right? And we can just keep fighting and feel completely fine. Go and grab this town center over here at some point. And even keep building Ulfsarks as well, right? Like I've got so many resources, you don't have to worry too much. Get your upgrades that you neglected before because you were too busy being shit at the game. That's my excuse anyways. And like I've already got a ton of villagers back. If I could see the villager count right now. It's been like a minute since I killed off my army. Just make sure you just keep building them and you're set. You know, we can kill off our Silenus opponent. Feel fantastic about it. Can I do this? Does it put it down? Oh, it totally puts it down. Busted. Oh, he's killing me over here now. He's actually worked it out. This guy is too good. Your empire has indeed collapsed. And you can see how much gold we get. You can cancel these and get that town center in his base just to add insult to injury. And maybe he'll But it's like as a Norse player, you shouldn't be afraid or unhappy to see these Anatolia, Midgard maps. I feel like your chances on this map are just as great as a high hunt map. I think this map is completely playable for the vast majority of matchups. There's a couple of matchups which are a little bit hairy. Doesn't mean you can't win them, just means you have to work a little bit harder. But for the majority, you got to feel good having this this map. Can we get this shot? Nope. Well, that'll do. Any questions or criticism, leave it in the comment section below. Like I said, these water maps aren't that bad if you come in with a strong plan. Fish boom on Anatolia and Midgard. Really, really strong. Would recommend you guys give it a try. You can take the concepts that are kind of displayed in this video and apply them to the other civilizations to get your fish boom. If you are aiming to get to the classical age at about 5 minutes 15 seconds with a fish boom on Anatolia and Midgard. If you're advancing later than that, you're going to get punished by really good players. But if you're getting a 515, solid 515 advance with about 15 to 18 fishing ships, you're on the right track there with that build, and keep working on it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the follow on Twitch or on the YouTube. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, leave a comment. My name's Boit, and I'll see you guys in the next video.